Well, hello there, and welcome to issue number 62, and this issue is all about the Aries pig. As you can see from the caption prior to this video, those are the dates you have to be to fall into this star sign combination, the Western and Eastern Astrology. Okay, let's start straight away with the Aries pig as a child, preschool and going into junior school. What you'll see straight away is a very easy child to raise. Pigs are normally so well and even-tempered, and always like a smile on their face. They always like to be good-natured, and there's no exception here with the Aries pig. In fact, they probably take it even further. They like to be friends with everybody. They don't take criticism very well at all, because they like to be liked. And you know, this only gets more and more so as they get older, but especially early on they like to please mum and dad. They like to be very protective of their siblings, very supportive, very caring, and they're quite smothering as well. If they've got younger siblings, brothers, sisters, you know, they're very overprotective of them, and you know, if there's a couple of years gap and they've moved up to juniors, they'll be watching them like a hawk. You know, and they're so very, as I say, careful and caring in that sense. They like to get on with everybody. They want to be friends with everybody in their class. And they're very, as I say, very even-natured, very good-tempered, and, you know, if they do get that bit of criticism off a teacher, which would be very rare because, as we know, this is a very intelligent combination, but they won't want to be seen as a goody-goody. They won't want to be seen by other members in the class as, you know, being a bit of a smart aleck. So sometimes they dumb it down a little bit just to get on, just to fit in. You know, they have absolutely no problems with lessons. In fact, you know, as I say, very astute and very well tuned in to what they got to do, and they will excel, but not overtly. You know, they won't be the teacher's pet. They draw the line there, and because as I say, they want to still keep in, you know, and not upset anybody in the class. So very even. It'd be very rare if this, you know, this sign were to have a fight even. You know, as I say, they're so good-natured and good-willed that I can't see them getting into that sort of situation at all. So if we take them through, we go to high school, you know, senior school, and colleges and universities, etc. What we find is this goodwill and this want to be liked continues far and beyond the call of duty. They will be involved in lots of student groups, etc., helping, making people's lives better, in the sense of, you know, charity work. They will do this, but they need to be seen to be doing it, and it's not in a way that's, shall we say, it's not shallow in the sense of they just need to be seen and that's enough. But they do genuinely care. They do want to do it, but they have to get recognition as well. This is a double-edged thing because the Aries starts to take over, and whereas the pig will gladly go along, good-natured, good-willed, and do a lot of things behind the scenes and not always get the praise because they are highly intelligent. They don't, you know, need that show of affection for their egos, but the Aries does. The Aries does. As we know, the Aries is a very hot-blooded and a very passionate sign, but it's very egotistical as well. So it does need the recognition, and when they get older, this will have to be forthcoming. You know, this is where the downfall can come, and the combination may hit some fireworks where they feel as they're not being appreciated, and no one will hear the last about it. You know, everybody will be getting ranted at, raved at. There'll be some shows of temper which previously were not there. You know, where we've had this, you know, smiling, ever so helpful human being, and a very caring one. We've still got it. Don't forget, we never lose that, and it's not gone. But it's being competed with by the Aries who's saying, well, hold on a minute, look at me. You know, I've achieved this. I've I'm involved in good things. I need to be recognised. If they get the praise, then they gladly continue doing it, and they do it with a very good heart, and they do it with, no sense of gain. But as they've gone through, they get into university stage, they realise that for this goodwill to continue, they need money, and they need lots of it. So they will then tune their intelligence, and their humanitarian streak will then go into a streak of, how do I get money and how do I get it quick? Because money to them then becomes power. The Aries needs that power because they can't guarantee that their loving and caring nature will always get noticed. They know that as we get to adulthood, we're out in the big wide world, life isn't always as sweet and as rose-scented as they want it to be. It's just not possible. People go through crises, people get into problems, people are a bit more aggressive, they're in the big world now. But then they know, okay, to deal with this, I need cash. And these fellas, these ladies, will earn big, serious cash. That will give them then the power, that will allow them to keep the goodwill up, and, they will throw money at problems. This can be a bit of an issue, but they do it with a good heart, and they do it so they can carry on caring about sometimes an uncaring world. So they'll be big donators, they'll still be doing their charity work, but they'll also be a little bit coy, and their family members better appreciate them, otherwise they'll be getting that famous tongue lashing, because they do so much, and they still want to carry on doing that, but they don't like the unscrupulous people of this world that may feed off of them, and they'll find a few on the way. Unfortunately, the Aries pig does get fed on. The scrumptious and loving natured person does get fed on, there's no doubt about it, and they do learn the hard way sometimes, but they learn that money is the key, and they find it. And as I say, so we have to look for the partners that keeps them away from maybe the unscrupulous nature of some of the other combos that side of them comes out of them when they meet this Aries pig. So we've got to look, really got to look at the goats, because the goats, being that loving nature, also the appreciation of beauty, non-conflict, very important for the pig. Even though the Aries might give a tongue lashing now and then, they really will only do stuff in self-defense. They're not overtly aggressive in the style of physicality. Yes, they'll argue well with their tongue, and yes, they will shoot somebody down in flames, but the physicality side of them, they're not into it, and they really would rather reason their way to a dispute, to get rid of the dispute. So goats are a perfect match, one for their non-conflict, plus these two will have such a nice private lifestyle together that the pig and the Aries, they really will appreciate this, because the goat knows how to keep themselves to themselves, be loving in public, just like the pig will be, but they need that space, and they get that space together where, after all the good deeds they're doing and all the money they're making, because what a money making combination that would be, they need that time to chill out, and their time, because people do put on them because of their, as I say, their fantastic personalities. So if we look at the goats, we really have to stick with the Leo, the Gemini, the Aquarius and the Sagittarius. All of those goat combinations are fantastic. And we also have to go for rabbits. Rabbits will keep that sense of discerningness which the pig endures and needs. They need that, sometimes that antennae from behind them to say, hold on a minute, I don't think they're quite right. And the pig takes a bit of convincing, but the rabbit's there for that security and saying, look, I've got your best interests at heart. And plus also the secure nature and the privacy, they will also add into the mix that loving sort of you know, you can come home, shut your door and leave it all behind you. That will be their castle, their home for those two. So let's look at the Rabbit Leos. If we look at the Geminis, we also got to go from the Aquarians and the Sagittarius in the Rabbit years. What we have to avoid at all costs, and for both sides, is any snakes and pigs. As I've mentioned in previous issues, they don't get on. The thing is, the snake is wonderful combinations with all of them in their own right, but when they come across the pig, they tend to sink their fangs in, and they can be quite ruthless with this sort of, you know, the goodwill pig. And also, occasionally, the pig's rants, and with the Aries involved, it would sort of unsettle the, you know, the seductiveness of the snake, and they wouldn't really enjoy a sexual and a warm relationship. So they really tend to clash, and they wouldn't really look at each other. If they do, well, I advise to steer well clear of each other. If we look at the health of the Aries pig, well, due to their running here, there and everywhere, and basically for a lot of other people, they really have to be careful of exhaustion. They're very strong bodily wise. The Aries is a very robust Western sign, and the pig likewise on the Eastern. But they've got to realise they are human. You know, they are knights in shining armour, yes, and they are the Florence Nightingales. They are, and they run to people's aid, but they've got to be careful of exhaustion and just running themselves into the ground. You know, make sure they get enough sleep and nutrition. That's very vital to this combination. Otherwise, they're going to be ultra healthy and live a very long and happy life. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and please tune in for the next one. Thank you.